Rox D. Xebec. People get upset on my fixation on the man known as Rox D. Xebec, who wanted to be king of the world, a title held by Nerona Imu, who Ivanka revealed to have some ties to the Void Century. But I think it's important to appreciate the past monster who mold the future monsters currently in the story, especially when Son Goku said he was Roger's greatest foe. The same Roger who fought Shiki in the Ed War, surrounded by his whole armada, and came out living. The same Shiki who confirmed Roger to have some sort of ancient apocalyptic weapon or some sort. This is the same Roger who went to Whole Cake Island and took Big Mom's road poneglyph by force. This is a prime Big Mom who's already been confirmed to be more agile and energetic in her younger days than the old hag we saw in Wano, who Law and Kid took care of. This is the same Roger who fought Whitebeard for 3 days and 3 nights and lived to tell the tale. This is the world's strongest man with the world's strongest Devil Fruit with Conquerors Haki coding. Yeah, Roger fought that guy for 3 days and 3 nights. This is Whitebeard in his prime, who stood in front of the Pirate King throne when Roger, of course, was killed and executed. Yes, Roger did this while being sick. And this is the same Roger who fought Prime Garp multiple times throughout Garp's marine career, where Garp was even considered a crewmate to Roger, on the same level as a crewmate to Roger all the times they've actually tried to fight each other and kill each other. All I'm trying to say is the past character Rox heightens the past Pirate King Roger to extreme levels. And when we look at the story now, when Oda has eliminated Whitebeard after the Marineford War, and then eliminated Kaido, the strongest creature alive, and Big Mom after the Wano War, Oda even eliminated Luffy's rivals in Law, who lost to Tej during Agate Island, and Kid, who lost to Shanks in this same arc. It's the final saga where all the big pirates are making their moves, which is why we are getting Aokiji going all out versus Garp, and Kizaru going all out versus Luffy, and even the Gorosei are making their moves, with even having one Gorosei and Saturn being eliminated by Imu. Oda is ultimately hyping up the final saga top tiers. This is shaped around the final page in chapter 1121, where they said, let's go, who's going to claim the One Piece and all those figures who are going to be big deals in the final saga. So let's talk about the previous winner and loser of the last era before Oda reveals how the One Piece story will end with the future winner and future loser. Now, a lot of people like to ignore the fact that Garp is also connected to Rox the same way that Roger's connected to Rox. And if anything, Garp gets elevated because of his Rox lore. Then people like to think, like, you have to understand, Garp went against Rox the same way Roger went against Rox. We already know Garp was going against Roger, but Whitebeard, Shiki, a lot of pirates were going against Roger. Big Mom. When Garp went against Rox the same way Roger did, you had to respect it. Now, we don't know the details yet, so we're going to see that in the God Valley incident flashback. But right now, Garp became a hero of the Marines because of that event. He doesn't like to talk about it. And we saw what Garp was doing when he was out of his prime, yo. He was kicking ass on Pirate Island Beehive with that crazy galaxy impact. And just the things he was doing, even while injured by Shiri the Rain, getting a clean shot on him. This is not Squardo, a fodder Whitebeard fleet commander. No. This is Shiri the Rain, the jailer from Impel Down, who got an invisible Devil Fruit ability, and is pretty much Blackbeard's strongest crew member if it wasn't for Aokiji. So yeah, the fact that Garp pretty much got tag teamed by the 2 strongest Blackbeard pirates, Oda put some respect on his name, and he survived it. Even Blackbeard's like, just be happy they took him down, because this is Garp. Blackbeard even puts respect on Garp's name. So yeah, I feel like Rox is definitely heightening not just Roger, but he's also heightening Garp, who heightens Roger. It's like a whole crazy thing that I don't want to explain right now. And then there's Whitebeard, and we've always thought Whitebeard was powerful after Marineford. Like the fact that he had no scars on his back, he got his brain, he was fighting with half his head taken off. Sengoku's like, how is a man fighting with half his head taken off? Sengoku said that he has the power to destroy the world. He was planning to destroy Marineford. He caused a tsunami. Like, Whitebeard did a lot of amazing things, like low diffing giants. Like, I can go on and on the things that Whitebeard has done while he was sick and while he was old, out of his prime. But the reason why Rox heightens Whitebeard is because you have to understand this. Well, I won't say Rox heightens Whitebeard, but Whitebeard heightens Rox, which it then henceforth heightens Rogers, because we've seen Whitebeard fight Roger, and they were going at it for 3 days and 3 nights, and Whitebeard had his Delph ability, he had Conquerors Haki coding, and Whitebeard looked to be a serious force. Like, he looked to be a serious force in his prime that people are not letting people know, and he was under Rox. He was under Rox, guys. Rox was the only man to make Whitebeard, not the captain, a crew member. That right there says all you need to know. Now, of course, we've seen crews like Shanks and Ben Beckman and Zoro and Luffy. Like, the vice captain to captain is not that far off, if I'm being honest. But still, Whitebeard is the world's strongest man being under someone. That heightens Rocks, but then of course heightens Roger because that was Roger's greatest foe and they went at it. So if anything, this kind of confirms that Roger is stronger than Whitebeard, which people don't want to talk about because Whitebeard has shown us so much and he's known as the world's strongest man with the world's strongest stealth for Primicia, and Roger just had Haki. But yeah, this kind of confirms it, if I'm being honest. And then there's Shiki. Shiki's another character who heightens Rocks. Shiki's already heightened Roger with the Ed War. Shiki's a character who, of course, is very powerful. That Oda gave him a Dofu that he didn't even want to give him with the flying Dofu ability. That's how broken Shiki's power is. He's floating islands. And the fact that Shiki was the only man to break down Empo down. And it was different how Luffy did. Luffy got a lot of help. Shiki did it by himself by cutting off his legs. Shiki destroyed half Marineford going up against Garp and Sengoku in their prime. Shiki has 2 swords with an OP Dofu ability. There's a lot you can say about Shiki. And we even seen that recently when there's a glimpse of God Valley flashback, Shiki was portrayed as the 3rd strongest after Rocks and Whitebeard, and even Big Mom grouped them together. Big Mom said their heads are in the cloud when they're talking about Rocks, Whitebeard, and Shiki. Those were the top tiers of the Rocks pirate. Yes, Big Mom is a part of that top tier, but when it comes to the monster trio, it's Rocks, Whitebeard, and Shiki. And the fact that Shiki is a 3rd on a crew when he was a legendary captain, like Oda even said, if there was a Yonko's hierarchy back then, it would have been Roger, Whitebeard, Big Mom, and Shiki. This is after Rock's death, of course. This right there means that Shiki heightens Rocks automatically, and Shiki already heightened Roger. So yeah, this, I'm telling you guys right now, Rocks makes Roger look really good. And then of course there's Big Mom, and Big Mom's another character where if Big Mom's the 4th strongest on your crew, that right there heightens Rocks automatically. And then, of course, her hatred for Rocks. She didn't even like Rocks, but she still was submitting to Rocks as the captain. That says a lot right there as well. She brought Kaido under her wing as well. She gave Kaido that crazy Delphin ability. And we even see her in action against Kuma and Ivankov during the God Valley flashback instance. But I'm telling you guys right now, Big Mom, when she was in her prime, Big Mom, not that old hag we saw in Wano. Big Mom's actually in her prime. Not like she's saying she's out of her prime like Whitebeard on Marineford, but she definitely was stronger when she was younger. Roger went in there and took her road points by force easily. And yeah, that is a big deal for Roger to do that. And then Big Mom's automatically hiding Rocks. We seen when she was falling, she was talking about Roger, where's the One Piece, everything. If anything, Big Mom seems to respect her Roger, her enemy, more so than her captain. You rarely see Big Mom talking good about Rocks, but she's talking amazing about Roger. Like, oh, where's the One Piece? Why did you have to create this new era? I like it. Now Kaido is an enigma because he wasn't the monster what we learned of him in Wano. Like, he was an apprentice on Rocks' crew, but we all know that apprentices usually become legendary pirates. Like, Marco was an apprentice on the Whitebeard crew and he became the first division commander and the vice captain to Whitebeard. Shanks was the apprentice on the Roger Pirates and he became a Yonko. Same as Buggy, but Buggy's kind of a meme or a joke, but you get what I'm trying to say. So apprentices are big deals when you see it. And Blackbeard was an apprentice on Whitebeard's ship. He became a Yonko. So the fact that Kaido was an apprentice on Rocks, the greatest crew of all time, he was an apprentice on that ship right there, and Kaido became the strongest creature alive. And in his top 5, he mentioned Rocks from when he remembered as when he was like 20 years old. He remembered Rocks' devastating power. He was with the Rocks for 5 years. He remembers when Luffy hits him with that red rock. He remembers Rocks. Yeah, there's other characters, but he remembers Rocks. Rocks is legit. Kaido remembering his former captain means that Rocks heightens Roger automatically right there. And then of course we recently got, like, we've gotten a lot of information about Rocks in general. Like, we've gotten information through Sengoku, who said he wanted to be king of the world. He is the Will D, Rocks D Xebec initial. A lot of taboo, like, how to say this, the fact that he brought not just those other guys like Shiki, Whitebeard, Big Mom, Kaido. There was Captain Jong. There was Ochoku who ran the Pirate Island before the Rocky Port incident. There was also, I think there was another character, Silver Axe, Glorissa, Stussy. There's a lot of Rocks pirates that are like legit powerful. Yeah, Rocks was number 1. And I like how when we seen the God Valley flashback, Whitebeard's like, yo, Rocks, relax. He kind of gives me that Luffy vibe, how he's just running into the field, trying to fight right away. And we even see Roger run into him on the God Valley incident. This is where arc where Fickerland Garling's there, Monkey D. Garp's there, Saturn's there. There's a lot of top tiers here. So and you see Roger with his crew and Scott Barkabon really. So yeah, Rocks is gonna show us some crazy stuff. Oda's not just building up this character, this silhouetted character for no reason. But I have to admit, I can't just harbor on why Rocks is heightening Roger's power. I think we have to also look at what's right in front of our eyes. Red Hair Shanks is also heightening Roger's power in this current era, because Red Hair Shanks is the strongest Haki user in the story. And you saw what Kaido said, yo, Haki transcends all. So the fact that he's using Divine Departure, a Roger move, he has one arm, Roger has two arms. Like, I'm telling you guys right now, Shanks automatically hypes up Roger the same way that Rocks does. But the thing is, Shanks is showing us the devastating things, seeing 10 seconds into the future. Like, Shanks is constantly showing us amazing things. And it just automatically thinks, if Shanks could do this, what could his captain do? Because Shanks was an apprentice on Roger's crew. So yeah. And then there's Luffy. Luffy, to me, doesn't have the same personality as Roger. I think he has similarities to Roger, but not the exact same personality as Roger. If anything, one of the biggest things I notice about Luffy and Roger is they love to be in La La Land when it comes to, like, their dream is the same, and their dream is something that's not even, like, you can't even be real in reality. They Whitebeard laugh, Sabo and Ace laugh, like, it's something that you'll just laugh at. And I think that that's what they share. Also, they give me that feeling of wanting to be wanted. Like, that's why you see Luffy getting all these wacky people on his crew, same way as Roger would. Like, he put Kozuki Oden late in his career, Crocus late in his career on his crew. Also, they always want new crew members and new Nakama. They have a lot of similarities, but they do have differences. But the reason why I mentioned Luffy is because Luffy is not just a Haki specialist. Like, recently Wano, he got his Conquerors Haki coding. He already had his future sight from Hokage Island, and he got his Arm and Haki to, like, 2 different levels of insane power level. But Luffy is different from Roger because it's not just Haki transcends all. His Devil Fruit also transcends all, with the, of course, the Nika Fruit from the Void Century that belonged to Joy Boy. So I think that Luffy will surpass Roger, and the fact that he needs the Nika Fruit to surpass Roger really shows how powerful Roger was. Like, even Kaido, while he's fighting Luffy, he's thinking about Roger. Now, I must admit, I'm giving a lot of hype to Roger through Rocks, through Shanks, through Luffy, through a lot of characters, but I have to admit, I don't think Roger is above Joy Boy. Joy Boy's from the Void Century. His Haki was able to send the Gorosei back. His Haki was able to knock out all the Vice Admirals. His Haki was able to turn all the Gorosei into the humans. His Haki was able to... Joy Boy was able to feel the Haki and get PTSD feeling Joy Boy's Haki. Dorian Bragi said it might have been stronger than Shanks' Haki. And that's not even Joy Boy alive. That's Joy Boy dead. Void Century Haki from years ago. And they said it was less hostile, showing that he didn't even go hostile with it. Maybe Joy Boy can go even another level with his Conquerors Haki, though people think it's the strongest Haki. That's debatable. At the end of the day, I think Joy Boy's Haki is just like Roger, is just like Shanks. It's insanely powerful. And because he has that Nika Fruit as well with Luffy, I think Joy Boy is the pinnacle of a pirate. He's the first ever pirate, and I think he's the peak of what a pirate is. I think Luffy doesn't have to surpass Roger. He has to surpass Joy Boy as well. And that's gonna have to be revolving around Imu as the final villain. But yeah, I think definitely Joy Boy, the fact that I'm comparing Joy Boy to Roger is insane. And then there's Blackbeard, who has his ship named after the saber of Xebec. Oda's been hinting at it in interviews that Blackbeard has some sort of connection to Rocks. His territory is Pirate Island, where the Rocks was formed. There's a lot of similarities there. I definitely believe the Darkest Fruit, with also Whitebeard's Devil Fruit as well. He has the strongest Logia, he has the strongest Paramecia, he has pretty decent Haki, blocking a Seraphim slash that was able to cut off a piece of Amazon Lily with Armor and Haki. Like, Blackbeard is definitely not a slouch. He recently just beat Law with not even his full crew there, while Law had his whole crew, just showing how powerful Blackbeard is. Now Shanks, he defeated Luffy, Kid and Killer with just by himself, so that was a little better feat, but still, Blackbeard is no slouch. He's pretty powerful. Like, we see we did during the time skip beating Marco. Like, he has feats. Blackbeard has feats in the story, and he goes through the Rocks, the Rock School of Rocks in a sense, which automatically hypes up Roger. And I do have a video about Blackbeard and Roger that I do want to make, but it's going to be a little controversial, so I'm not too sure if I should make it just yet. And then there's Mihawk. Mihawk, there's been a meme for the last years. I think it started, like, I would say around, like, post-time skip, like, after Dressrosa. I think it's kind of started in Zoe, but I could probably say Hokage Island is where it really gone to the next level, with the whole Mihawk being the strongest character meme. It all leaked into Wano with Zoro defeating Kaido. Like, there's a big faction of One Piece fans that really want Mihawk to be the best. not just the best world's greatest swordsman, to be the strongest character in the story. And he has that supreme grade sword that's a black blade. Roger didn't even have a black blade, so they think that Mihawk's stronger than Roger. Listen, Roger didn't need a black blade. He had a supreme grade sword as well, an ace, his sword. But Roger's, Kaido said it, Haki transcends all. Roger's Haki wasn't on the same level. Yes, he's a swordsman, as we've seen, and that's why he's so excited for Oden and everything, but I think the fans have to chill. But I do want to say this, when it does get confirmed that Roger was stronger than Mihawk, Mihawk heightens Roger's power as well. And then is Roger's crew. Like, people have to remember, any one of Roger's top tier crew members could be a captain, starting with Rayleigh. Silver's Rayleigh, when he's not even in his prime, is able to go toe to toe with an admiral in his prime in Kizaru, and we've seen what Kizaru is capable of. That right there was amazing. His reputation got Blackbeard not even to fight, even though Rayleigh admitted that he would have lost to Blackbeard, because Blackbeard's a Yonko in his prime while Rayleigh's out of his prime. But just because his Conquerors Haki coding and name, yeah, Blackbeard's like, I don't want no smoke. Even Oda even alludes to in the anime, Rayleigh actually running into Blackbeard during the Whitebeard Pirates versus Roger Pirates war. And I think that Rayleigh's Haki is insane. He taught Luffy the basics of Haki, mentioned Future Sight, like he had Conquerors Haki coding. I can go on and on about Rayleigh, but we'll be here all day. And then of course there's Scarborough Gaban. Scarborough Gaban we haven't seen much of, but the fact that he was able to fight Kozuki Oden, that's insane. He's also gold, silver, copper, that whole play on words there. He's like the Sanji for the Roger Pirates. And if Oda is actually hyping up Scarborough Gaban for Elbaf, and we see some amazing stuff here, again, Roger has another monster that could easily run his own crew. If this is Colin's father, it is what it is. And finally, Kozuki Oden. You know what's so funny about Kozuki Oden? Kozuki Oden has an arguable case to be stronger than Scarborough Gaban and Rayleigh. Now, do I think he's stronger than Scarborough Gaban and Rayleigh? I'm not too sure. I personally feel like Roger and Rayleigh are the strongest Roger Pirates. Scarborough Gaban, where it gets a little iffy, and we saw in the anime they were going at it, and Scarborough Gaban was struggling a little bit. Though that is an anime, it's not seen in the manga. Still, I think that Kozuki Oden could easily have a case for being right under Roger. He's in Kaido's top 5. He came back. He went up against Whitebeard in a Conquerors Haki clash. He took a divine departure and got back up, unlike Kid and Killer, who got wiped out from a divine departure from Shanks. Whatchamacallit, he saw Whitebeard and Roger's Conquerors Haki coding, not touching, and was amazed by it. Came back from that, joined Roger's crew, went to Laughtail. You get a boost just going to being with the Roger Pirates. Goes to Wano, fights Kaido, almost beats Kaido, the strongest creature alive. Who a lot of people think, oh, Kaido wasn't in his prime. No, Kaido was pretty much near pinnacle prime at this point. And Oden almost kills him, but then he gets distracted and gets the hour, of course, the hour where he was in the boiling. I'm telling you guys right now, Oden is underrated. Even Zoro said, how the hell did Oden control Enma with all this Haki pouring out? And Zoro had to realize, oh, this is Conquerors Haki coding. And you have to understand, that's the only way that Kaido can get scarred too, is by Conquerors Haki coding. That's why Ashura scarred Kaido. So yeah, that guy was under Roger. Like, I'm telling you guys that there's a lot of cases of other characters hyping up Roger. So Rox doesn't have to be the only one that hypes up Roger. That's the point I'm trying to make. But at the end of the day, people have to remember Roger was sick when he fought Whitebeard in his prime to a stalemate, meaning he could have been stronger. So for Roger to make it to the end of the Grand Line, I think around like 40 years ago, around there, and then go to God Valley right after and confront Rox, who we already had a battle with a year before that. And I'm telling you guys right now, he could have been in Luffy case where Roger reached his prime way early than other characters. He could have been in his prime way early when he's around like 30 years old. When he's on God Valley, he could have been in his prime. We see Roger looks extremely different with no mustache too there. And I'm just making that case right now. Now, we know nothing about Rox, but for him to be Roger's greatest foe without us seeing any of his abilities only makes him look incredible. And we may be underestimating the former Pirate King's power level. Like, don't be shocked when we actually see him fight healthy and serious on God Valley in that flashback. Like, don't be shocked to see our opinion on Roger change after seeing Roger versus Rox on God Valley. We could have a completely different opinion than when we saw Roger fight Whitebeard. And a lot of fans didn't get to reach to see Roger fight Whitebeard. That was just mind-boggling, seeing the guy from first chapter finally do something. Roger, yeah, insane. You saw the YouTube videos how it went viral, Roger versus Whitebeard. Do I need to say more? But yeah, this is pretty much my yapping session of saying that Rox makes Roger look good, and Roger is powerful. People are sleeping on Roger. Like, he needs more love in the fan base, in my opinion.